Hi, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Beter.
And this is the Brittany and Beter Podcast. Bitch.
Brr.
Skirt. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome everyone to the second episode of the Brittany and Beter Podcast,
And we're recording today at the Hills Podcast Studio.
which will be our location until further notice. Until we
Probably
get
for a
kicked out.
while.
Nice.
Yeah.
This
I
is
love
lit,
it.
though.
This is a really cool setup.
I thought it would be ages before we got to this point.
I know. It feels
I
very
know.
legit now. Which, you know what? It is legit now.
Liddy.
All right.
Alrighty. So, happy 2024, everyone.
Happy 2024. So the last time we recorded, we had just graduated.
Can you believe it's actually been a month since our last recording?
Oh my God. It has been a month. We did only just drop the first episode though.
That is true.
So it might not feel like a month, but it feels like a month for us.
And I believe that from this point, we'll aim to release at a fortnightly schedule.
We're hoping.
Nice.
No promises.
We will attempt.
We're busy.
We do be busy.
But we will be trying to prioritize this, which I think is really cool.
Nice.
All right, let's get into the episode.
Cool. So today we've chosen our topic as our 2024 goals.
Yeah. Life after grad, 2024 goals, what we've been up to, what we're hoping to achieve.
Nice.
All right, so should we talk about what life has been like since we finished school for a little bit?
We should.
Should. I don't know about you, but I've been like really good and also really bad.
I can say the exact same.
It's weird, right? And
Yeah.
I feel like other people in the ensemble are also feeling like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big change.
It's a huge change. We went from like a crazy lifestyle to kind of like blank.
Yeah.
And
My life kind of kept being crazy. It
my
didn't
life
stop.
has also been crazy, but it's not like creative school being like, here are all the creative things that you have to do.
Yeah. Now it's like back to adulting.
Yeah, it's like I need to earn money and
Bro.
I need to make sure that my house is clean and tidy all the time, and I need to make sure that I'm seeking my own acting work if I'm not going to create it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's stressful.
Yeah. The grind doesn't stop.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know what they say? Life is like a sandwich. No matter how you flip it, the bread comes first.
Oh my God.
Brr.
Cool. I feel like something that I've been trying to focus on, actually, everybody that knows me will pretty much expect me to say this, but especially the ensemble. But I think the one thing that's really been keeping structure in my life has actually been training at the gym.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And like, I shouldn't be surprised because like, of course, like,
Nice.
of course it's giving my life structure. Like my gym, I go to a CrossFit gym. So it's classes. I don't just like go whenever I want and do whatever I want. Like I'm going there. People are holding me accountable. I can't even cancel a class like an hour before. Like if I'm booked in, I have to go.
Damn.
And I think that's actually really helping my mental health because then like if I have a day where I've got nothing on, I'm feeling anxious and I'm feeling like worried about my future and my career, it sounds so silly, but like going to the gym helps because I'm like, cool, I've got something on.
Yeah.
Like I've got something I'm committed to.
Yeah.
Even if there's nothing else happening.
Well, how's the transition been from, I know like you weren't the most consistent, like fair enough because of school and all that, but
Yeah.
like how's getting back into it and sticking to it?
Well, it was weird because I was going all the time, as you know. And then in the last like 3 months of school, I was barely going because it was just too hectic.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to go more consistently and then I got COVID. And
Yeah,
then I was
wow.
like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like,
Damn.
can I catch a break?
Did you start the year in COVID or did you end last year in COVID?
Both. So it was like, it was rough.
Yeah, shit.
But I literally was like, the first workout after COVID, I was like, I have to start somewhere.
Nice.
And I'm not going to wait. Like, why would I wait? I'm just putting off the inevitable. Like, it's going to suck. It's going to be really shit and it's going to be really hard. And it was. Like, I have never seen myself after a workout like
Damn.
that workout. I was so sweaty. And also, I did it in Bribey Island, right?
Yeah, right.
So, like, the humidity there is crazy.
Is there CrossFit up there?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, crazy.
And I love their gym. Like
Nice.
it's a good little gym. And the humidity was crazy. My plait came out and then I didn't have time to replat it. So I just tied it halfway. My hair was everywhere. It was getting stuck on me. It got stuck in my armpit.
Damn.
I couldn't work out because it was like all over me. And we're doing burpees on the ground. So I was getting dirty. And then because I was sweaty and dirty, I had dirt dripping down my legs. It was
Damn.
disgusting. But it's been really good. Like last week after that, I went 4 times last week and I went on a run on the weekend. I went yesterday. I went today. I'm hoping to go 4 times a week.
Nice. Do you have set days?
Pretty much any day that I can get to a class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I can't go Sundays because they're not open on Sundays.
Right.
And I can't really go Saturdays because there's only one class on a Saturday.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I usually work.
Right.
So I try really hard to go every day, Monday to Friday.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. So your rest days are the weekend?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Well, it's hard to say because like I've never really had, I mean, I guess it is now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well,
how's your training been
my
going?
gym has not stopped since it started.
So good.
All throughout last year, I've set myself the goal of, okay, I'm going to train 3 times a week, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I have not missed a single session.
That's a huge
There's
flex.
only been one occasion. No, there's been a couple occasions where like on a Friday, I'll be like, oh, I'll do it Saturday instead. But other than that, like I've always hit that 3 workout a week quota. I could be doing an extra one for cardio, which, you know, like I just should be doing. I should be more on top of my eating. Like that's always been like my biggest struggle.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've still been hitting that quota. And for me, it's more of a thing of like, of course, like it's about my health more than anything. Like I'm not doing it for superficial reasons. Like in the time span of a year, I've gone from the most out of shape, unhealthy I'd ever been to fast forward 1 year, the healthiest I've ever been and the most fit I've ever been. Literally,
so
I hit my 1 year anniversary mark on the day of 50 Cent when I went 50 Cent last year, which was like perfect because I started the day like with the gym and then I went to 50 Cent. So it just seemed like fitting, seemed like the best reward. But yeah, like it literally, even from that point, I still haven't missed a single session. So I'm very proud of myself for that because I used to do gym. I came from a very athletic family. Like I come from a family of bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Like everyone in my family is like about that life and I'm adopted, so I don't even have those genes. But like I grew up with like that sort of like being instilled in my siblings and that sort of thing. And my dad tried putting it in me and like I went along with it because I had to. But then like, you know, when there was a point where he wasn't so present in my life, like I was like, you know, I still went through like the teenage phase of like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym. But bro, like every time I'd pick it up, like I wasn't seeing results. So then I'd just give up and then but then like looking back at those times, like again, I wasn't eating right. I wasn't consistent with it. Like I was bludging around. I was shaving reps like back then.
Yeah.
Like it was literally a waste of time. So, you know, when I started again, like I was like, no, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it seriously. And like, yeah, for the first time ever, I'm actually seeing results.
That's so good.
Yeah, it hasn't stopped. I'm going to continue going. When I first started, I said to myself, I was like, okay, if I'm doing this, I have to accept that I'm doing this until I die.
That's literally what it is, right? I can never not train now.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I know what I was like before and now I know what I'm like after. And like, how am I going to stop? I'm going to feel guilty. Like I'm also going to just feel gross. Like
And I also know like with the routine that I am doing, like I know I've probably hit somewhat of like my peak with as far as I can go physically at
like
this
a
point.
plateau?
Yeah, that sort of thing. Like I know if I want to get bigger or anything like that, it's definitely, you know, changing up the routine and it's about like, you know, probably doing more sessions and then probably, you know, like separating all that stuff. But at this point for me, just with the current schedule that I have, it's more of a mental thing. Like I find that like the discipline of doing it, even though I don't want to, kind of like puts what you were saying, like that structure in my life of, you know, like,
sure.
bro, like I have to hold myself to a certain standard if, you know, I like want to respect myself as much as that. Because I know that if I miss a session, I'm going to hate myself.
Yeah.
And I haven't even reached that point yet.
Yeah.
So.
Plus, it's also like, I remember last year when we were talking to Beck, who was the director of education at our acting school. And she was like, you know, you doing CrossFit, that's so good for you as an actor because you can put that on your resume.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what happens if there's a short film or, you know, a feature film or a TV show and they need someone who can act and do CrossFit. Even though I'm not the best at CrossFit, I can do it. And she was like, it also shows that you're fit and that you're healthy. Yeah. And at that time I was like, oh, I haven't really been for like 2 months. But, you know, now that I'm back into it, I'm like, yeah, for sure. Like it definitely puts me ahead if they're looking for someone that can do those kinds of things. And same for you. Like,
I just find that like a good gym session, like especially if you start the day with it, is the best way to start the day. Because it's a thing of like, oh, you want to get it out of the way, but like once you start the day like that and it's done, and it's like, damn, you're ready to go.
You start the day feeling accomplished.
Yeah, 100. Exactly.
Well, actually, that kind of ties into like our goals for 2024.
Well, that should be number one. Health is wealth.
I love that.
100.
For sure.
So that is before anything other than rent. that do be the number one priority.
Yeah, I love that. Well, actually, my first goal was like be consistent with 4 times a week training minimum. Last year and the year before, because of school, I was like 3 times a week was what I was aiming for.
Damn.
And if I hit it, it was a good week.
Yeah.
If I got 2, yeah, cool. If I got 1, like, bitch, try harder.
Yeah.
This time, like this year round, now that I have a bit more time, I'm really aiming for 4 gym sessions a week.
Nice.
And anything on top of that is just a bonus.
Wow. Damn. Yeah. I definitely need to incorporate more cardio into my workouts.
Yeah.
I need a whole designated session for it. That should be like on the weekend or something because...
Yeah, for sure.
Like I know, I just know that's where I'm at. But anyway, just doing what I can manage at the moment. And then fuck it. When I have more money, then I can probably hire a personal trainer. That'll take me to the next level. Yeah. That would be the goal.
My sister's a PT. Hit her up.
Yeah, shit. But also my dad's a PT.
But my sister's...
Oh, okay, we're doing this.
She's going to love this when she listens to this. What a shameless plug. My sister's a PT, Fit by Ash.
Nice.
Cool. All right. What are your
I
goals?
wish I knew my dad's accomplishments, but I know he has them.
All right. So what are some of your goals for 2024?
So aside from, that, and Dosh, this year is about Dosh.
This year is about Dosh.
Last year was such a financial loss, bro.
Bro, I'm actually feeling the financial loss more now.
Yeah. I can confidently say that last year was like probably the best year of my life.
Oh my God, I love that.
But it came at a cost. You need money, bro. You need money.
It's getting really tough.
Yeah, bro.
It's getting hard.
Bro, with inflation as well, it's fucked.
I can't afford to put like petrol in my car half the time.
Bro.
I'm putting in like $30 at a time because I'm like, bro, I'm not paying $2.30 for a litre.
Damn.
Like that's
I don't even know because I don't drive.
You're so lucky. Having a car is such an expense.
Bro, Opal be fucking.
You don't pay for Opal.
I don't. No, I did on the way here.
That's a first.
You know what it is for me? Fuck it. I'm admitting to a crime. I don't give a fuck. So what I be doing is I like... I don't know if I should be talking about this.
It's so funny.
I don't give a fuck. So basically what I do... Fucking, I swear I'm going to get like a door knock. But basically, I look at it like this. So I don't tap on. I'm poor. When I do have money, I do be paying for shit, all right? I know that. The universe knows that. But what I do is trains, I don't give a fuck. I'd be hopping gates, this, that, rah, rah. When it comes to buses, I walk on and like, I'd be looking at the bus driver and I say, thank you. And then I'll walk on. And if they pull me up on it, then I'll tap on. Damn. But this is how I look at it. I look at it like, I don't pay. I get away with it for so long. And then when I do eventually get pulled up, bro, the amount of fines that I do have.
And you do be getting pulled up.
This whole past year, I haven't. Ever since I moved to Drummoyne, I haven't.
Touch wood. You're going to get caught now.
Nah, well, you know what? So this is how it works, right? Well, the reason... different segues. Quick side note. The reason I don't think... Because I moved to Drummoyne. The reason I don't think that I haven't been pulled over is because Drummoyne is a pretty wealthy area and they don't be targeting those.
I feel like they go anywhere though.
I have not experienced the entire last year. Every time I made my way to school or just making my way to anywhere, never got pulled up once.
I'm shocked.
Never. But I do be getting pulled up when I was living at Marrickville or Kingsgrove.
Yeah. I got pulled up on like the Western Sydney train line.
Damn.
Once.
Yeah.
And I full tapped on and they fined me because I was using like a child Opal card because I just graduated high school. So that's what I had.
Damn.
And I was waiting for my uni one.
Bro,
I was waiting for my student one and they still fined me.
Someone dropped their school Opal in 2019 and I picked that up and then that carried me for like 4 years.
That's hilarious.
It was amazing. But anyway, the way I look at it is like I go so long without tapping on and then I do get pulled over and then I do get fined. And it's happened numerous times, but I look at that as like the bill.
Yeah. You gotta pay the bill.
Exactly.
You've reached your destination, I
get it 200. Yeah. And you know what? I think I'd be saving money.
You would be saving money. You would 100% would be saving money.
Yeah, 100. But the thing is, then you get to a point of like, okay, like I can risk it. But then when you get to, I'm too fucking broke. Yeah. Then it's like, I can't even afford to risk it.
Yes.
Because then it's like, okay, I can't afford to lose $200 right now. Otherwise, I'd be like, I will never financially recover. Like, that's literally what it is. Yeah. So, anyway.
So, money is a goal. I think one of my other goals as well is, it sounds super basic, but as an actor, like fresh out of grad, I want to say yes to as much acting work as I can. Obviously,
I be feeling that, but I'm on Star now. And I be applying for shit, and I get because I never really look at it until I get a response, and then I get a response, and then I'm like,
has anything come up?
Lots of things that are like, fuck, I shouldn't have applied.
Shouldn't have?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why, that's the thing, right? So I say that, but it's definitely conditional. Like I'm not going to just do any old thing. Because we're professional actors now. We're trained actors.
I be feeling that now more so than ever.
Yes, me too.
Because back in like before I did acting school, I was like, yeah, I'd do anything.
Yeah.
Now it's like, bro,
Mine is like if a friend comes to me and says, I've got a short film and I like the script, hell yeah, I'm doing it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Or like I'm auditioning for a play coming up. Like it's not paid, but you know, it's a play in a theater in the city. Like, I'm going to audition. Yeah. Or like, you know, it's stuff like that. I'm not necessarily going to be like, oh yeah, this script is terrible and depicts women really poorly and I found it on Sydney Audition on Facebook. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Like, no, I won't do that, you know?
Yeah, for me, it's purely a money thing. Like, I would love to do as much things as possible, but like, because I work and I pay rent, like, I am losing money.
Yes, I see it like that as well.
You know what I mean? If I do something that's like...
I'm investing my time into this when I could be
Time
working.
Is money, bro.
I could be working and earning money.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, I kind of see it like that too, which makes it hard.
But here's the thing. If it's someone I know in real life, or if it's just someone that I've met in person and they ask me to be a part of something, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But if it's like random shit and it's like...
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. So like I'm kind of experiencing that now because like fucking with our show reels and shit, like fucking my profile's like stacked on fucking all the casting networks and shit.
That's so good.
Yeah. So I be getting responses, but I'm like... Yeah. But anyway, I'm grateful for it all. So
yeah, it's part of the job.
Part of the job.
It's part of the job. We've chosen this life.
Exactly.
So, you know,
starving artist life.
All right. I wrote down another goal and it was, it sounds so basic as well. I think I said that about my last goal, but they're meaningful for a reason. So mine was to find some more time to spend with family and friends.
Nice.
And I think it's because like,
last year.
The last 2 years, I lost friends.
Shit.
People stopped talking to me.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I'm assuming it's because I wasn't as available.
Yeah.
Like because I wasn't around as much.
They could just hate you.
That is so mean because you know that's how I think. The like logical side of my brain is like, you know, I'm not around or I'm busy or like they think that because I'm not constantly able to go to things that I don't care. But like, guys, if you know me, you know that I be caring. It's just like there is no way that I could commit to things while like there were so many sacrifices. Yeah. And so I think for the people who have stuck around and for the people that, you know, still are in my life, I really do want to be seeing them. And I also feel like I've missed out a bit. Like I loved the last 2 years. They were also some of my favorite years of my life. And I've made so many good friends from acting school, but it's like, you know, I feel like I've missed out on my friends that were in my life prior and I don't want to keep missing out. Yeah. So when I can, I definitely want to prioritize. And same with like my family. Like I barely saw my family last year. That was rough. Like first year I saw them more, but last year I barely saw even my own parents. Like, you know, they live interstate, so it's really hard to get up there. And yeah, I think I really want to be able to, when I can, take the time to see my family and friends.
That's really beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Well, yeah, for me, it's like, yeah, of course, like friends and family, that rah. I like, I guess for me, like like what my version of that is like, because I love writing. Writing is like one of my biggest like passions, pastimes, all that. I've even like gotten paid work off my writing alone.
That's so cool.
Which is cool. And you know, all the writing I have done for the past year has been for school, and like literally first week of this year, like I was able to dedicate whole days to like my passion projects, which had been so long, like so long, like not since like fucking holidays, like start of last year.
Bro,
I haven't touched it.
I have a passion project that I haven't touched for 2 years.
Damn.
For 2 years.
What is it?
It's a poetry book, actually.
Right.
I think I briefly told you about
it.
You
had mentioned it, yeah.
I write a lot of poetry, especially before acting school. I was always writing poetry. Nice. And I don't want to sound cocky, but I think I'm pretty good at it.
Nice.
Like I have shown multiple people, especially my sister, and they love them. Like they literally, and I know that they're not just saying it.
Yeah.
Like my sister Ashley is not going to bullshit me.
Right.
Like she's going to tell me exactly what she thinks.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I would show her poems and she would cry from them.
Damn.
Or she'd be like, that's beautiful. Like I love it.
That's bussin'.
Thank you. So I started like collating all my poems like onto my laptop and formatting them.
Shit.
And it was really coming together and I was going to self-publish it.
Damn.
But now I know like more about like, I wouldn't use the software that I had used. I'd use something different and I'd change it up. I'd probably like edit it differently.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I really, really want to dedicate time into like getting back into that.
Fuck yeah.
But like when have I had time in the last 2 years, you know?
You know what you need? Because this happened for me. Like I just needed a whole session where I just needed to like get re-familiar with everything that I had done.
That's what it is, right?
Yeah,
like you need to get re-familiar with your own
Literally,
art.
it's like you almost like have to recalibrate it in your brain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, that's that.
I know that I'm gonna go into that document and find poems that I forgot that I
Yeah,
wrote. I'm gonna be like, holy shit.
It'll be a wild like ride though, like just going down memory lane and that.
Yeah. Especially because like a lot of it's really either like heartbroken, emo, but then a lot of it's like really romantic, cute stuff that I wrote about my girlfriend. So I'm gonna like read it and be like, oh my God, this is so cute.
That's lit.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, yeah. So the project, so basically a goal for me for this year is like, they're like minor goals that like, I'd have to like drag them out and like read specifically. But basically it's to just like reach the next stage of like where my current screenplay is at. So I'm writing a screenplay. It's a horror comedy based off the house that I used to live in from 2020 to 2023. I lived there for 3 years. It was a boarding house that was a combination of haunted house, mental asylum, and crack house.
It sounds like a series of American Horror Story.
Literally.
That's what it
was.
was.
And it's all like, me and my roommate who I'm still living with, like we lived through a movie. Like when we first moved there at the start of COVID, like we were there and we were like, oh, like this would like be a great setting for a horror movie, this, that, rah. And then like as we continued to live there, like the movie just wrote itself. And then it got to a point because there's so many different like characters in there. Like it's just a house full of these men that are all like whacked out in their own way. And we had like I've got like a 40-page document. It's actually now 50-page because I've been working on it recently. But I got a 50-page document of just dot points of every single interaction that me and my roommate had with every single resident in that building.
How glad are you now that you made that document?
Yeah. I was doing it as it went. Like I was like recording. I
remember you'd be at school like typing away on your laptop at lunch.
And then like the thing, and I was just recording everything, and it got to a point where like, the way I'm doing it is like, because it's like separated into, let's say 3 acts for now. The first 2 acts, I was like, oh, like I don't even have to make up anything. It's literally just like everything that we've lived through. And then the 3rd act, I'll make it that like, oh, like there's a night where like shit goes down and everything goes crazy and then like this, that. And then it just felt like me and my roommate like lived through that. And then like, it was like, it just wrote itself. So now it's just like,
it's waiting for you
now,
to come back
to it. Now I've just got like this whole page of just like dot points, and each dot point's a scene.
Yeah.
And now it's just about expanding each and every one.
That's
so
really cool.
I've like, just recently gotten back into it. It's been so long. And like, now I'm like ready to like take it to the next stage. And as I'm typing along, it's like, oh fuck, like it's actually progressing. It's like almost scary in a way because it's like closer to reality. Ooh. It was the whole reason I went to like Sydney Actors School in the first place.
Isn't that?
It was the whole reason. I said it on my first day. Do you remember?
I vaguely remember.
I literally, when we were going around the circle and we were like introducing ourselves, I literally, the first thing I started talking about was like, oh, I live in a crack house and rah. Like, so that.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see like a draft of the screenplay.
Well,
you'd show me.
Well, why don't we, in future episodes, why don't you show me experts of your thing and I show experts of my thing?
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I could do like a well, not a live poetry reading, but like a recorded poetry reading.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and I'll show you, like, bro, I can literally show you, bro, like, I could talk about each resident for a whole episode. You know what I mean?
I believe
like,
that.
They're cooked.
Yeah.
They're real people.
All right. Well, to wrap up this episode, we have a really fun segment that we're going to start to include in every episode.
Yeah.
And it was actually Peter's idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really into it because we are both huge lovers of music. And so basically what we're going to be doing is recommending an album to each other that the other person has to listen to.
Yeah. So swapping albums, essentially.
Yeah. Because we have really different music taste,
Yeah.
but we're so passionate about the music that we like.
Do you want to give a background on what you're into?
I mean, I feel like they could already tell from the last episode.
What?
Well, actually, that's not fair.
Yeah.
That's not fair for me to say because my music taste is really varied.
Right.
Like I listen to, like Taylor Swift, Britney Spears, my like top idols.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like I still listen to like Mayday Parade and All Time Low and Ian Dior and like a bunch of, I even listen to like Nicki Minaj every now and then. And,
Yeah.
like it is actually very varied.
Right.
So do you want to explain your
Yeah.
music taste?
So on the flip side, like I come from a very like, I listen to multiple genres. Like I started with hip hop and like at this point, like the way I listen to things, like I'm very chronological and I go through artists' whole discographies and that.
Which, you know what? Ever since you told me that, I've started doing that too.
Yeah.
The other
It's
day,
worth doing.
I had actually it was probably like a month ago, but I had a huge day of driving and I was like, you know what? I haven't listened to one of these bands for a while and I started from their first album and I was like, damn, I forgot how much I love this album. I literally took like a note.
Do you know?
What's the metaphor?
Huh?
Took a note out of your book? I don't know.
A page from your book. I don't know.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying.
Yes. But yeah, that's literally how I listen to music though. Do you know that when I started my music library in year 9, what I would do is I would like listen to like all the songs that I have downloaded, which is like via album. And then like when I get to the end, I'd add to it and then I'd restart. And I've been doing that nonstop since it started in year 9 and I haven't broken the cycle. And now it takes me a whole year to get through my whole library.
But like what happens if you just don't want to continue?
No.
What if you're like, I just wanna go
If I feel like listening to an artist, then I'll listen to an artist.
Yeah.
But if
But
I
you
have
come
nothing,
back?
if I have nothing, like if I'm not actively listening,
I get what you're
like
saying.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if I'm like, okay, well I'm just like continuing down this
Like,
path.
yeah.
Yeah. And I like, and
Like
then
if Snoop Dogg released a new album, you'd pause where you're at and go
yeah,
listen to the new album.
yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah,
So
I
what
get
I'll
you.
do is like Monday to Friday, I'll like go like through my library, and then Saturday is for new music releases. So any album that has come, and then
What if you can't wait until Saturday?
then I'll just listen to it, and then Sunday is like where I like expand my taste, and I listen to something that I haven't listened to
Sometimes
before.
I just can't expand my taste. Though.
Well, I got a music list poster of 100 albums you need to listen to before you die, and then I'd be random number generating that,
oh
and
my
then
God.
I'd be
Actually,
listening to
you've
that.
told me that before,
Yeah.
and I remember being like, "Wow." That's
But
so
also,
committed.
like, whenever you give me an album, that would be the day that I listen to it.
Yeah.
On a Sunday, where
Well,
like that's rest day. So
should we give each other
yes,
our albums?
we shall.
All right, you go first.
No, you go first.
Fine. No, I'm gonna go first. All right. So the album that I'm gonna recommend to you is one of my all-time favorite albums. It is by Halsey, and it's called "If I Can't Have Love, I Want Power." This album came out in 2021, actually during the Sydney lockdown.
Damn.
And I remember listening to it from start to finish and thinking, this is one of the best albums that I've ever heard for like so many reasons. Like sonically, it just is perfect. The way she has put each track, like every track is meant to be that spot. Do you know what I mean? Like it just
gotcha.
flows really beautifully. The lyrics are incredible. She writes her own songs. It just has a lot of meaning and it's really ahead of its time. Like I remember back in 2021, I didn't really know anyone that listened to this album. I think I had one friend that listened to this album. Like nobody else that I knew was listening to this album. And it was phenomenal. And it's still phenomenal. Like I listened to it a couple weeks ago and I was like, damn, this still hits really good. So that's my album recommendation for you.
Nice. I shall listen to it. And
Yay.
my album recommendation is basically this album. Like, even though like I come from a very like hip hop, this that, rah, 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 it still is hip hop technically. But like this album was the representation, or at least my segue of like the 1 year of my life that was my emo phase back in 2018. And that is Lil Peep's Come Over When You're Sober Part 1. Like basically before this album, I definitely didn't listen to anything like this. So when I did come across it, which was like very shortly after he had died, I had known of him before he died. But then when he did die, it like shook up like that world really big. And then just kind of, I had come from like the most depressing years of my life. So like when he started to like show up all over my timeline, like
I couldn't help but become really invested in who he was and like just kind of explore what he was. And like, you know, like, yeah, I was like very kind of against it at the start, but then like I kind of like broke down my own barriers and like really like endowed it, if that makes sense. Like, and unbeknownst to me, that was actually kind of what I needed at the time because I just gone through like really traumatic time period. And yeah, and then the following year was the closest thing I ever had to an emo phase. And that was also like the year that like, you know, XXXTentacion and all those kind of art, like the SoundCloud scene, like was really popping. And just, I always be thinking back to 2018, even though it wasn't the greatest year for me, it was like my year 12, like HSE, like kind of year. But like that year, like I just be thinking like this album is super nostalgic, but it's also like, it definitely holds up for me. Like it's only 7 songs. Every track slaps. This is the representation of like my emo music.
Yeah. It's funny what you said about like, it's what you needed at the time.
Yeah.
I feel the same about that Halsey album.
Damn.
Like so many of those songs literally spoke to me for where I was at mentally with lockdown and also just with like other personal things going on in my life. I remember listening to it being like, she's literally put into lyrics how I am feeling and the thoughts that I am having. And she's put them into a song and like released it out into the world. And it just spoke to me so much. It was exactly what I needed.
Yeah. I remember when he had died, there was this video posted by like this music outlet called Genius. And it was like,
I love Genius.
Yeah, it was like remembering Lil Peep's most memorable lyrics. And it was like this compilation video of like all of his songs. And I remember like it came out very shortly after he had died. And I don't know why, but I was just like obsessed with like that one video because it just showed all like a lot of his songs. And I would just replay it over and over and over again because like so much of that video was like fucking just spoke so true to me at the time. And then it just like kind of let me into like this whole discography that like definitely changed my life.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
So very appropriate swap.
Yeah. And also like we're sharing this because we want you to expand your music taste.
Exactly.
So
give those albums a go.
Yeah. Listen to those albums before the next episode and then you can hear what we think and you can be thinking what you think and it'll be like a little hangout.
Amazing.
Awesome. Well,
right, so does that wrap up episode 2?
I think that wraps up episode 2.
Amazing.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah. And we'll be seeing you on the next time.
Yeah, for sure.
Skirt. Purr.